Okay, so here's a new project. Two projects. Black and white movies. With the Mystery 400 speed film. Okay, is it Kodak? Is it Orwo? Is it Wolfen? What is it? Who cares? It says 400. Somebody found a way to develop it to be that fast. Now the box says to develop it with process D96. So I looked through all my notes. I found the recipe for D96. But then I found a bag from Film Photography Project. Two bags, actually. This will make a gallon. So that's more than enough. That's twice as much to develop two of these rolls. And I have three. I don't know. I think I have three. Oh yeah, there's two more. I bought this Bolex camera specifically to do indoor available light, natural light shooting with the fastest speed I could get. And this is a much older version camera. I have the foot on the bottom that I got in the 1990s from a guy over by McKeesport where I used to teach. And of course it's non-reflex. It has this really cool viewfinder. It looks out this lens so you could focus it. This looks out through here. Then you have to rotate it down to the taking position. The speeds, the main speed is 16, but it goes down to 8. But it also does 24 and the high speeds. There's no shutter and there's no filter slot. So if you use a filter, you've got to put it on the lens. This is a 25mm Salon Berthet f1.4, I think. And this is from the Cine Kodak Special with the adapter. And it's the 15mm. The viewfinder on the side, oh, it's just, yeah, 15. That's why I put the Cine Kodak on there. Now I'm going to put the 75 on it also. So it does the 15, 25, and 75. '75s are the same for reflex or non-reflex. I just didn't want to put it on right away because I don't know if it's going to get in the picture if I use the 15. But I think if they're put this way, I got to check in the book. This might have to go on the bottom, I don't know. But that's going to be the lens setup. Now since I want to do portraits of people in the house talking, not necessarily sound syncing everything, but I want to practice getting exposures in natural light of people talking. Most movies are about dialogue and people talking. And I want to do the same thing in regular A. Because one of these rolls is equivalent to 4 of these rolls. So I don't know which one to start with, but I had it loaded, but I just never got around to starting. But this is a regular 8 camera, and it has a much faster lens on it. I think a 1.1. I bought it special just to do this. I have a light that I could put on the camera also. So the goal then is to shoot all of the film at full winds to get as much as I can out of each shot. And I measured the time. It'll go 24 seconds at 24 frames a second. It'll go 37 seconds at 16 frames a second. But I'm going to, try for sound sync. I want to develop the entire roll at one time using the Lomo Pro. I'll develop it as negative, of course, and then I'll print it on the Euler. And I have several different kinds of film that I could use to print it with. I wish I could remember when I bought this. I got onto some other projects and I never actually did this project or this project. I did make Christmas videos on regular 8 in the house with available light in black and white. I even went to the church. So it might have been around that time, just after that time, that I bought the faster lens and these films, thinking that I would do the same with 16mm. So that's something to look for. So I'm going to put the 75 on here. I could switch them if they have to be reversed. And I did find another booklet. I'll look in here, see what it says. Okay, the book shows the 75mm is on top and the 16 on the bottom and the 25 in the middle. I really like the viewfinder. You can see the numbers above the eyepiece. Okay, 2 feet on the left, 10 on the right, infinity on the right, and there's a dial underneath, vertical, and you spin that dial and the center eyepiece moves back and forth. Well, that's awkward. I actually like that much better than the entire tube moving out from the body. It's just such a neat gizmo. And this camera is a double perf sprocket drive. You can see the drive wheel has 2 sets of teeth, one on the top, one on the bottom. Can't see the bottom reel that good. There we go. But the top is very visible. Okay, 36,348. So this is definitely an early model, and the gate pressure plate is different. I wound it up about 4 winds. I've never seen this part up here before. I've seen it down here, maybe over here, but that's different. What's it sound like? 1, 2, 3. That's a nice loud click. I wound it 4 winds, so each full wind is a click. The camera may be wound forward or backwards. So if I did want to do a sync sound, the long take, longer than 25 seconds, I could hand crank it or let the motor run, and then I have never done it, but it's possible to hand crank this while you're filming. So you would need a very strong tripod, which I have. I have the Mitchell, and a firm hand, and then crank it as, you'd have to practice, I guess, but it is possible. Now I have another box with motors, and I've never done that either. And so there's a lot of stuff to play with, and I like using the cameras. So the goal here is to figure out how long to develop this film, shooting it at 400 ASA indoors under natural light at 24 frames a second, just in case I actually record some sound, and I could put it together in the computer. And I don't believe that this will be out of the picture if I use the wide angle lens. I may get away with just taking the light shade off of it. But we'll see. I'll try it with and without. This is the adapter for the Cine Kodak lenses. I think it's called an M mount or an S mount. It has a pin, and this goes right into the Cine Kodak Special, so it's probably the S mount. There. So then you have to screw it. The rest, put it into the slot. There. That's a pretty neat adapter. C to S, I think, because there's also M mount lenses for the Cine Kodak. So I got some new batteries for the Luna Pro. You check them like this, and if it's not in the red zone, the needle above, then it's good. I set the ASA to 400, and that's what I'll shoot at. And if I have to add light, I will. There wasn't enough under one light bulb out in the hallway, although I think I could use the 25mm lens wide open and do a selfie right there. I'm very interested in getting the correct exposures and the time of developing. Those two things really get me. I'm interested in those. Hand cranking and filters, and that's not so much. But I'm real excited about the last roll that I shot, and I got such a nice selfie of me in the green chair using the color negative 500. That exposure was real nice. and I'm going to try to get some. I'll probably use the cable release and the tripod and do a selfie in there. That'll be one of the shots. I could just shoot everything at 800 and then develop and try to get the proper time, but I'm just going to start with 400. Work my way up. That 25mm Somme Berthet lens was an H16 Rex lens, so I took it off. And I got Mr. Harmon's old camera, and I got the 25 off of it, and it's not a Rex lens. I also put the 16mm on, so I got a 15mm f2.7 and a 16mm f1.5. What is it? f1.8. The 25mm is the f1.5. So I'll try these out. The film looks like it is FOMA, and it was loaded so without a take-up reel, and it'll be 6 clicks to make 3 feet. It ran 7 clicks. I couldn't turn it off. This wouldn't turn it off. When I stopped pressing on it, it didn't come back out. I had to reach up and yank it off. I did it again. Made a mistake. I did not rotate the lens into the taking position. One of the bulbs burnt out and I had to replace it. When I stretched the film out in the dark, it was a little short of the length that I like. So I ran the camera a little bit, and that would have spit out pictures from the gate to where I cut it. And then I loaded all of that, and there were about 4 inches dangling beyond the last spiral end. So it's a little bit longer now than what I usually load, but that's not going to get in the way. This will be used at 1:100, and I'll put 400 milliliters in there and 4 milliliters of one shot, just at room temperature. I'll agitate, 20 times to start, just rattling. And then I'll let it sit half an hour, and I'll rattle a couple times and let it sit half an hour. I accidentally put 5 milliliters into the little measuring jar, so I put 500 milliliters of water. And you know what? 500 filled it right to the very top, and it overflowed a teaspoon. So I just left it and shook it 20 times, and that was it. And it's on its way. So that's my hobby. That's what I do while I'm waiting for a new film to come from Film Photography Project. Film Photography Project. I ordered 2 rolls of NC 500. And this is what I do while I'm waiting for it. I sure hope this works. But it's only, 3 feet. It's not only 3 feet. There were 7 other feet that got wasted because of my stupidity. I should probably do something with it, like develop it to be black, but I'm tired of doing that. After the hour was up, I dumped out the developer and then I rinsed it one time and I put in 400 milliliters of fixer. And that's for 6 minutes, then that'll be rinsed, the Ilford method, and we'll see what we see. Alright, this part is the most fun. You're seeing it as I am seeing it. I have strong negatives, clear edges. It worked. Alright, that film is totally usable. I got a glitch here. Another glitch here. But look at the clarity. I had to lean forward and then I had to come back with my head against the back of the chair. So there's a variety of focals. I focused at 4 feet and it looks like the light yellow wall is black and my black shirt is white and my skin is gray. And there's a 3/4 view of light on my face, there's glasses, there's lots of detail. Now I could run the same film through the printer and then develop it in the Rodinal again. I have a lot of it, so why waste any other kind of print film? It'll work on color print film, it'll work on soundtrack film, it'll work on leftover really old print film. There's all kinds of stuff. Whatever you want to put this black and white negative on, you could contact print it.